Alright, so now let's look at the discount Red Deck Wins deck. I have, for the point of discount decks, sort of made myself an arbitrary rule of no more than 8 rare and mythic wildcards. That may change. Right now, that's the rule. No more than 4 of those cards can be mythic wildcards. So you could have 4 rare, 4 mythic, 2 mythic, 6 rare. Any combination therein. Embercleave is too good of a staple to leave out of really any red deck wins. So I do have 2 of these in here. Obviously, the deck would probably be better with 3. But again, I wanted to sort of more simulate what someone might have access to if they're just starting to build out their decks. So 2 is a little bit more reasonable in terms of mythic wildcards. I also put 2 rare wildcards in with the Bone Crusher Giant, because again, sort of a staple. I dropped out the Fervent Champion completely. It's a really great red deck wins card, but it uses up a lot of wildcards, and it does start to get outclassed later on in the game, and so I decided it really wasn't worth the investment in a deck where I'm trying to minimize how many wildcards I'm using. I also have 1 Castle Empress here. Again, if I had 2 or 3, and I am intending to do that, I'd probably put, say, 2 in here, since I still have a little bit of a wildcard budget. There are a fair amount of uncommons in here, so we got 4 Claim the Firstborn, 3 Fireblade Chargers, 3 Spikefield Hazards, 2 Weaponize the Monsters, 3 Blood Aspirants, 3 Bolt Hounds, 3 Flame Spells, 3 Castle's Fury, and 3 Traitorous Greeds. The way that this deck works is that it's a very aggressive, again, sort of red deck win style deck where you try to get these creatures out on the board as quickly as possible. So you'll note that there are a lot of 1-drops and a couple of 2-drops. There aren't really very many expensive cards. And the one really expensive card that is in the deck gets cheaper the more creatures you have out and attacking. But it also has answers for the mid-game, and sometimes the late game, I guess. Making use of Claim the Firstborn and Traitorous Greed in combination with the sacrifice cards that we have in this deck. So that's Blood Aspirant, Hobble Fiend, and Weaponize the Monsters. So the idea here is steal your opponent's big threats. Some of those big threats will be 3 mana or less in the current meta. Sometimes, they will be more. That's why I included the Traitorous Greed. But the point is, again, steal their threats and just sack them to pump up your Hobble Fiend, to pump up your Blood Aspirant, or you can obviously use it with Weaponize the Monsters as well. That's why that's in there. And Castle's Fury as well. Sorry, this is also another sacrifice card. Now this one would be really nice in combination with Traitorous Greed if you have an opponent that does have a card that costs more than 3 mana, but that has gotten big. There are a lot of +1/+1 counters after Zendikarb's release, so you can get some pretty big creatures pretty fast. You steal it with Traitorous Greed or Claim the Firstborn and drop Castle's Fury, and you can do lots of damage with those creatures. So that's really how this deck is constructed. I've done a little bit of testing on it. We're going to do some more testing for this video. But again, this is a discount red deck wins deck. Let's see how it does. So this is another test of the discount RDW deck. I've made changes to it that do make it significantly different than my main red deck wins deck. So it still follows the rules of discount, but it's not really like necessarily a discounted version of the red deck wins that I tend to play. So we'll see how this goes. seen a lot of the +1/+1 counter decks lately. It's sort of interesting. Let's see here. I think I'm just gonna drop Hobble Fiend. Obviously I'm not going to attack right now. Though I guess I could have, because if he kills this, that's a worthwhile trade, but I'll wait till my Bulltown comes out. That ooze is going to be big trouble, real fast, so yeah, I'm going to burn that. And you know what? I can kill this. The red deck wins needs to be aggressive, so I can't really sit back too much. Okay. What's the math on this? So 2 less than 6, which is 4, which I do not have yet. So I guess I will drop out my Bulltown and then... damn, this is gonna get bad real fast. I guess what I can do is steal it and sack it. Not the most elegant, but it will stop me from taking the most ridiculous continuous damage ever. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So, yoink.
Get over here!
Fortunately, this mana does not last as phases end, so I will just have to sack it before I can use it, unfortunately. Get rid of that guy. And then I'm going to attack. Sad to see my Bulltown go, but it is what it is. Alright, now I should be able to bust out a nice combat trick with the Embercleave. Now this is one of the more expensive cards that sort of takes away from the discount feel, but I only have, I think, 2 of them in this deck because, again, the point of this is supposed to be something that you can build without all that many rare and mythic wild cards. But Embercleave is just such a good card for red deck wins. It's sort of criminal not to have at least some of it in a deck. And I guess I'll just finish off by stealing this.
Get over here!
This doesn't matter, I am going to attack with it, so I'm going to lose that mana regardless. But, you know. GG. Alright, so this is going to be another game testing out the discount red deck wins, which I have named Attack. This is still on the general play queue. It's not a great hand. Maybe we should have mulliganed it, but you know, if I see at least 2 lands, I'm more than willing to go for it, especially since this deck, most of the things they cost 1 or 2. They don't cost that much. So, we'll attack with my Hellhound. I doubt he'll block. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Then I'll drop the Blood Aspirant. So, I don't know what he's gonna play, but obviously my turn 3, I probably want to use the Bolt Hound. However, I do have the Flame Spell, so if something big hits the board, I'll probably burn it with the Flame Spell. Otherwise, I'll just go with the Bolt Hound. I'm not too worried about that. You know, if he plays a flying creature on turn 4, then they'll both be 3/3s, so I will need to deal with them. But I'm comfortable enough right now that I'm willing to just drop the Bolt Hound and attack out. There we go. So he might block with one of his birds, because it is a lot of damage coming at him, but I assume he's not going to. But now, because I have 3 potential attackers, I should be able to get out this Ember Cleave next turn as well. If I don't get another land, I may drop this land out, but it's going to come into play tapped, so... Yep, so he's going to come at me for 6. I'm not surprised. But I'm going to have a fun little combat trick for him here. He's not going to be happy about that. He is tapped out, so he can't counter it. Alright. Go. And then, like I'm stupid and don't realize he has a 3/3, I'm going to attack out. Come on, take the bait. Sure. Oops, sorry. I'm not that dumb. Well, I'll just attack with these guys and see what happens, because my assumption is he's gonna send one back to my hand or something. Okay. That's fair. In that case... attack with him, but I'm actually going to... Oh, nope. Only do that as a sorcery, I guess. Weird. Oh, because he's tapped. Derp derp. Alright, I'm gonna drop the Hellhound. kill one of the birds. I probably should have just held on to not attack with him and at the end of his turn sack one of the hellhounds, but it's not a big deal. You can't really attack freely. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Okay, dude. Yeah, there are just so many ways I can win with this. Let's see what he does. Got another tap too. Gonna have to be one of those blue cards. Oh, unsummon. Unsummon's not fun. Alright. Oh, fine. What's gonna happen? He doesn't know what I have in my hand. Alright, now we're gonna try the discount deck and the standard play. It costs 500 coins, so these decks should be better. I'm not sure I really want to risk it on the ranked queue quite right yet, but it does seem like it works pretty well. So sorry about that, I accidentally hit my microphone. Let's see here. Attacking for 1. Playing my blood aspect. This might be a rogue's deck, I'm not sure. Okay. That gives me some more confidence that it is probably a rogues deck. But they haven't gotten any of their key rogues yet, or they would have played those, I think. But we'll see. I can have a lot of fun with rogues decks, with this deck, because I can steal their rogues. So I'm gonna keep that in case I need to ping any low mana rogues. And I think I'm gonna hold him back from attacking, because if he does drop something, I want to be able to use the sacrifice ability. Fine. I do have a rogues deck myself that I quite like. I think right now we're still in the stage of seeing what all the variants look like for the rogues decks. There seems to be quite a few different flavors, but I'm sure once people get used to the new standard, there will definitely be a more streamlined. But right now, because of what I mentioned, definitely run into a lot of different things. Can't block with these, so based on how he's played so far, I expect he'll either do a kill spell or another, return your hand type spell. Yeah. What do you know? Fizzle out, right? Do damage to either of those because they'll die. Okay. Right now I'm not hitting as hard as I'd like. Which means I'm definitely falling behind a little bit because this is a controlled deck, so it's slowly getting all the pieces that it wants. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Not a whole lot I can do about that. So this, it's funny because I'm technically in the lead right now, but like I said, I feel like I'm pretty behind because I just haven't been able to be as aggressive as I'd like. I sort of feel like this game is going to be a loss, but technically I'm ahead, so we'll see how it goes. So when I originally recorded this game, I had a phone call come up during it. So there's a little bit of silent time for me to fill here, so I'm trying to continue that analysis. At this point, obviously, they've played the Brazen Borrower, which is going to start doing lots and lots of damage to me since it's a 3-1 with flying, and I don't have any flyers. I believe that what I do is just use the Spike Field Hazard. I probably should have taken control of the Brazen Borrower and attacked with it, but I wanted to try and save my control cards for a sack engine card so that I could sacrifice them afterwards and make sure they were dead. That didn't materialize. There are counter spells in this deck, so the chances of being able to actually make all that work would probably be minimal. But, as you can see, I'm just sort of trying to continue here. Do as much damage as I can while I can. There they drop their second Brazen Borrower, and I again just kill it because I don't have that sack card to make me feel like I could effectively get rid of it. So, they're taking a while during their turn, but they did eventually play Ashiok, and that sort of sealed the game there. Obviously, it was not a rogues deck, it was just a blue-black control. Whether or not I should have taken control of the Nightmare tokens or not, really,
Get over here!
I don't think was particularly impactful, but certainly if you have any suggestions on things, I'm always open to those in these videos, so feel free to comment. Got a phone call, but that's all set now. Oof. Yeah, now I'm gonna start losing pieces that I need. So this is not good for me right now. But I didn't need to actually do that because I can do this. That was dumb.
Get over here!
He finally decided to counterspell something he didn't want to get all of those in. That's fine. Honestly, like I said, this is probably a lot. But trying to make do with what I can. Oof. That's going to be 6 cards coming out. That is gross. Or, sorry, 4. Because this one can't attack yet. There's that at least, I guess. I can kill one of them. Hooray! He's just going to get another one on his turn. Yeah, I'm going to get milled to high heaven. He may even counterspell this. A shock would have been great there. I could have at least gotten rid of the Ashiok, but instead I'm just going to keep getting milled. And he's going to keep being able to mill stuff. Yeah, this is a loss. So we have another game here on the regular play queue with the discount red deck wins. Alright. This is decent. I have one of my sackers plus a steel card right there. Of course. Who doesn't love Ruin Crab? No, that's just the deck du jour, right? Thanks. But at the very least, as long as it doesn't have a counter spell here, I get to take it.
Get over here!
Surely he will have more of those. He'll probably also have Teferi's tutelage, so we'll see how this game plays out. But having that decent starting hand is putting me in a good position here. Alright, let's attack again. Okay. Play the Hound. Gonna counter it? Of course, that's fine. I'd rather that get countered than Blood Aspirant, so thanks. Alright, so right now this is pretty straightforward. I have control of the board. As long as I can continue to keep up the... that was gross. Keep up the pressure, then I should be okay. Alright, yep. Just going to attack here. Sure. Oh. They tried at least, right? So there's that. And they should be able to finish it out. That was the fastest game ever. Alright, another discount red deck wins on the regular play queue. Oh, this is actually taking no, it's different. Okay, here we go. That's fine. Get down our weaponize the monsters. And if we that way, if we start stealing stuff, we can take care of it immediately. Put that down. The Hobble Fiend can actually sack as soon as it comes out because it doesn't require to tap. So it makes more sense to drop this, and then if I steal something, hopefully if I get another land here, I can do that right away. Well, I don't have I guess I have the Traitorous Greed, but do not have enough mana for that yet anyways, so. I'm gonna hold off for now. I want to hold on to my burn spells. I don't want to waste it on that, so I don't want to take the risk. Now that is worth a burn spell. But I don't have enough for the one that would kill it, so. Alright, let's see if I can get one of those steel cards. Oh, well. I suppose better than nothing, right?
Get over here!
Okay. I correct myself, that is the fastest game ever. Might be a bug here. Yeah. Nice little bug. Cool. Alright, we're gonna do another discount red deck wins. Unfortunately, I just had a great game that displayed its capabilities, but I was having some OBS issues, so it is not recorded. But hopefully this game will be good. That starting hand is not great. I do technically have 2 lanes in there, so I'm gonna try it out, but yeah, it's not a great starting hand by any stretch of the imagination. Play my Hellhound. Alright, so this is probably a rogue's deck, which means it's gonna start hitting hard and it's gonna start wheeling me. So I've just gotta try to burn them down faster. Now, if my luck holds out, I will draw a land at this point, but we'll see. Nope. Alright. Well, let's see. What do I want to play? Obviously, I'm not going to attack with my Hellhound, because there's no point. I think I'm going to play the Blood Aspirant for now. Yeah, I mean, right now that's just the only option I really have. There's the Thieves Guild Enforcer. So the mill has started. And now his counter spells are in play too. Man, I could have used those lands. That sucks. But we'll see. Yeah, geez, this is not going to be fun. Hopefully I can get a land here soon. Otherwise I'm going to feel pretty stupid for keeping that hand. Well, let's just try combat here. See what happens. I don't think he'll block. He wants to keep that up. I'm gonna drop a Fireblade Charger. See if I can bait out a counter spell. Nope. Alright. I'll probably counter this, but we'll see. Nope. But he's gonna hurt me on the way out, so I can't say that's unexpected. At least that threat is done with. And I should have played that Hellhound. Right, so yeah, I'm going to attack with the Hellhound. I'm not going to attack with the Charger, obviously. Of course. I'm going to counter it. Oh. Drop out another Hellhound. Gonna send another card back to my hand. Yes, no, maybe. Healer. Yep, there we go. That's fine. Rather that than one of my death cards. It's sort of funny because I'm playing a rogues deck, which is, you know, sort of constructed around stealing their main rate and sort of the meta aspect. But this deck is a red deck that also steals. So let's see here. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to start by dropping the land. That needs to happen. Because that makes that a threat. And then I will go for an attack with the Hellhound. See if he bounces it back to me or anything like that. Okay. Ow. Are you really gonna block it and kill your Thieves Guild Enforcer? Fine by me. See if he counters this. Hopefully he does not have the counter spell in his hand. The rogues deck runs a handful of counter spells, but usually doesn't run a ton of them. Let's see what happens here. Are you going to counter it? Yep. Oh, they're not going to counter it? Okay. Oh, you know what? I can't with the Drown in the Lock because that's a 6 converted mana cost. So I have... No, I have enough cards. There we go. That's what it was. Okay. Well, this is not going to be a good game for me from here on out. So, yeah. Some great cards if I had one of my sack machines. I do not. Played stupid. Alright, so we're doing another discount red deck wins. Um, it's been a mixed bag so far. Um, it does work and can be effective, but against some of the more standard meta decks right now, it has some struggles. And I think that's to be expected. Again, this is a deck that makes use of as few rares and mythics as possible. I think we'll keep this hand. It's not a great hand, but I do have plenty of potential lands there. So there's no reason to avoid it. But yeah, I mean, so it's not going to be to your deck. This is something that's supposed to help you get through standard, have a deck that you can build on and expand. That's what it's meant for, and so that's what I'm working on. See if they block this. If they do, I can just take out both their tokens. Oh, all right. Just leave it be for now. Alright, let's attack. I'm sure they're gonna block now. Yep. Get rid of those cats. I have to get rid of those tokens eventually, so I might as well just do it now. This is an interesting deck. I haven't quite faced something like this yet, so it's different. Alright, let's see here. Drop another... We need another land? I don't know if we need another land right this second. Take care of the garrison cat. Attack. And then I will build up my Hopple thing. There we go. I get the token this time. That's nice. I think I am gonna place one down as well. Four is sort of the ideal for this deck. You have a 4-drop spell in here. Doesn't really need much more than that though, so we'll leave it be at that. Master blockers. this Storm Herald easily enough. Let's hold on to that for now. Because, you know, I'm getting low enough that I don't want to be too reckless in my attacks. Yeah, I mean... Pass this to blockers. I get this on the bubble field. Block. I'm gonna use this on one of these for that. Yep. Alright, so we've neutered them down a little bit here. Now hopefully we can sort of run to the finish here. And they're going to continue to have things that can attack. So that's easy enough. Back with this, we'll hold the hobble feet back. Holding on to this land because of the Hellhounds, so let's see, they're gonna attack with both of those, that's fine. Now I'll go down to 5. Perfectly okay. Actually, I think I can finish it out right here. Attack with everything, so we've got 5, or yep. What we do is pump up one of these with the infuriate number. Alright, we're gonna try to do another deck here. See what we can get done. Right, that's not a bad starting hand at all. So. Obviously, we're gonna want to drop the Hellhound right away. And then continuing to try to drop lands as you can to allow it to sort of bash away at the opponent. There goes that. That's not fun. Sort of bill and pushing forward. I see 1 black mana right now, so this could be an interesting deck, one that can kill off a lot of our threats. Okay, now there's a mountain, so this might be an aggro deck. This might be well, it's obviously Rakdos. Not sure if it's going to be a Rakdos party or what it's going to be, but yep, there we go. We're starting to see kill off our stuff rather nimbly, so that's not going to be fun, but I don't know what we can do about it right now. Gotta keep dropping creatures and trying our best to sort of punch through. I may not sort of fill the board with creatures. A deck like this often has mass removal for weaker creatures, so I think I'm gonna hold on to this Satyr. Oh, they're gonna get rid of it, so that's fine, I guess. That full land drop. Do our best to just sort of continue with this. Give me your heartless remorse. Heartless act, sorry. Find 2 cards there. There it is. There it is. I don't have any more sack engines, but I do have a sack engine card, so... Oh well. There's no land this turn, so there's no point. I guess I could have... Yeah, I should have. I should have used Castle, but that's on me. Feeling a little... I'm not a big fan of decks that just kill everything that I have. That's never much fun. Okay. That's definitely going to be dead. Ooh, Bolt Hound. Perfect. Get my doggos going together. These will both be able to attack, and this will give my Hound at least, 1 damage to be able to. So that's why the Bolt Hound was in this deck. To be perfectly honest, obviously, it's just great value in general, since it gives all attacking creatures +1/+0, but it helps the Hellhound, which is a 0/1, to be able to actually, get some things done. Oh, let's see here. I'm going to kill this.
Get over here!
Back everything. Not going to be quite enough, however, unless he can kill all my stuff, I should be able to this turn. At least one of these getting in. I will also have Castle Ember to pump up with it. And obviously, if I get a land, that's just gravy. Yep. I'm good. I took too long to decide that. I should have just attacked. I had some options there once I drew the shot. So I'm making this video for dual purposes. You're going to either see this at the end of my discount red deck wins, or you're going to see it at the beginning of the video actually showing this deck in action. The reason I did this was because the deck that I was using in the discount red deck wins is very different than the red deck wins deck that I've been using. So I wanted to just sort of experiment with what it might be like to see what we could do if we didn't have any limits on wildcards. So here's what we've got. We have 2 Castle Lambreths. Pretty straightforward there. That's going to be 2 rare wildcards. We have Embercleave, 3 copies of it, so those are 3 mythics. We have 3 the Crowan War, and that's going to be 3 more rares, so we are up to 5 rares. 3 Bone Crusher Giants, so now we are up to 8 rares. 4 Robber of the Rich, which is another 4 mythics, so we have 8 rares and 7 mythics. And 3 Fervent Champions, so we have 11 rares and 7 mythics. This is definitely a wild card heavy deck. I mean, even with uncommons, we have 4, 7, 11, 14, 18, and 22. So the really the vast majority of the deck is going to be uncommons or higher. Um, so obviously, this is a much more expensive deck. There are other considerations out there. You could always toss in a Witch's Oven if you feel like you need more cards to sack stuff to. That was something that I ran across in some of my games was the inability to actually sacrifice something if I stole it. So maybe toss in some Witch's Ovens. The other thought is if you have even more wild cards, you could look at Luca, Coppercoat Outcast. He has a really nice ability that would pair up really quite nicely with sacrificing stuff, and his +1 still gets creatures out onto the board. So uh, those are some other options, ways that you could sort of alter this to your taste.